What is going on? Welcome back, everybody, to Bet Daily, January 13th, 2023. Fun little day yesterday. Got a couple best bets home. Had a nice little winning day. Trying to do it one more time today. Papa Dude, we'll start out with you. How's it feel?
Well, it was good. I got to go to bed at halftime. I felt confident at halftime. I think they were up 18. Stanford's awful. So I felt good about this one. I don't know why that line was -2. I have no idea.
No, that was an excellent play there. Washington clearly the better team. You could see that like first 10 minutes, it was pretty obvious who was going to win the game. Gotta love laying just 2 at home with the better team in college basketball. That usually works out pretty well. Magic down there, glutton for punishment, wearing a Wings jersey. What's going on here?
Whoa. 4-1 win over the Maple Leafs last night, baby. We were looking excellent. I should have made that my best bet instead of that stupid-ass horse race that I picked. Yeah,
that would have actually been a good one, especially with Matthews out at game time. So you got a beautiful number if you bet that in the morning versus betting it right before game.
Well, and the funny thing, we were coming off a game where they beat the Winnipeg Jets 7-5, and the coach, you win a game 7-5, and your head coach goes, "That's the worst we've ever looked since I took over." I thought that was a good thing because they thought that they were feeling pretty good. And he goes, "No, you played shitty. Now we've got to get ready for Toronto," and they came out guns a-blazing. It was pretty great to see.
Well, speaking of teams that have not played very well, let's jump into the first question of the day. Got 3 NFL teams this weekend who are 9+ point underdogs, all on the road. Last 12 games, a wild card round where a team was laying 9 or more at home. They have won and covered all 12 of those. So who's going to not cover this weekend? We've got the Dolphins plus 13.5 at the Bills, the Seahawks plus 9.5 at San Francisco, and the Ravens are now catching 10 and starting Brown, not Lamar or Huntley, at Cincinnati. We'll start out with you, Aaron. Who do you like here out of these 3, or are you just going to lay the points in all of them?
I think the Seahawks will find a way to keep that closer than this. I just keep going back to the fact that Brock Purdy's going to make some mistakes at some point, and that thing's going to get tight. The Seahawks, they're not a great team by any stretch of the imagination. It's an interdivision game. I just feel like they'll be able to keep it closer than that 9.5. I think at the end of the day, San Francisco's going to win this game, but I do think the Seahawks will cover this. I think it will be a 4-quarter game.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting with the weather there as well. Santa Anita canceled on Saturday. You're going to see a ton of rain in Northern California as well. So it's going to be an off track up there for the Seattle-San Francisco game. Not sure who that hurts more. Definitely will affect the pass rush for the San Francisco side, but it should help the running game as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that weather plays out down there. Papa Dude, you agreeing with your son who roots against you, or are you going somewhere else?
Well, ironically, we discussed this for 15 minutes yesterday, Aaron, I think. Yeah, and I think I convinced you, but you may have been on this anyway. I'm not a Brock Purdy hater like Aaron is, but you got to look at the logic of this. And what he's done is incredible. It really is. 7-0, the last pick of the draft. This is an incredible story. But here's his 7 teams that he started against. New Orleans, yeah, they're good. Miami, they don't belong in the playoffs. Sorry, Mike, sorry. Tampa Bay, they don't belong in the playoffs. All 3 of those games were at home. The Seattle win at Seattle's his best win. The Commanders, that was at home. At Vegas, that's a good win. And then they played the Cardinals. So he's not beat anybody great. In the playoffs, the focus really is amped up. I think the Seahawks are the pick in this. I see, who was it? I think it was Jason mentioned they do have a healthy quarterback. The other 2 teams don't. So I've got to take the Seahawks like Aaron.
Papa, as a former coach, what wins championships?
What wins championships? Usually in the NFL, you better have a damn good quarterback. I'm going to say that.
I want defense.
Scoring more than the other.
The answer. You got to have a good defense.
You do, and the Niners do, and we discussed this at length. The Niners have the best roster in the NFC, probably, and all Purdy has to do is manage the game. That's all he has to do, probably, to win this one. But you asked me the point spread. I think Seattle keeps it closer than 9.5. I don't think they win, but I think they keep it closer than 9.5.
That's fair. And Seattle struggled. Well, they did cover the second game. The final was 21-13 up there in Seattle. However, San Francisco had a 16-point lead headed into the fourth quarter. So I think if San Francisco shows up, they're going to get the job done. Although I'm not betting that game on the side or total. I like McCaffrey over 77.5 rush yards there. That's going to be my bet. Give me the Ravens plus the 10. It's not because I think they can win, but I think this game goes under. And the total's sitting at 40.5. And if this game goes under and I'm catching 10, I'll take the chance with them trying to keep this close, seeing something like a 17-10 final, a 14-7 final, somewhere in that range. Baltimore's defense is pissed off. And I think I'll take a pissed off defense with an offense that can't move the football versus an offense that's and a defense that's not very good at all. Magic, you want to take a case for my Dolphins here? Or you going Seahawks or Ravens?
There's only one of these three teams had a winning record against the spread. It was not the Seahawks. It is not the Ravens. It's the Dolphins. The Dolphins actually had a better record against the spread than the Buffalo Bills. Also, in the last 6 meetings between these two teams, the underdog is 4-1-1 against the spread. Give me the Dolphins, the Mike Somich Dolphins to cover. You're not winning. Buffalo's looking at this as kind of a sleepy pushover game. Go Dolphins.
Let me point out, folks. Let me point out before we go any farther. Magic is a very good analysis. But last night he played the same angle on the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they won. Sorry, I have to just bring that up, Magic.
Trends aren't everything.
Let me point out: don't do drugs.
Yeah. Just so you know, Magic's child and wife are not home right now, so we don't know what's been happening, right?
That's good to know because child services was going to get called. So okay.
Real quick question. We'll just fire this around the horn. You can do a 10-point teaser, minus 110. If you bet a 10-point teaser, who doesn't cover?
The Dolphins.
Oh, no, down. So you get Bills minus 3.5, Bills minus 3.5, Seahawks or San Francisco minus 0.5, Cleveland minus 0.
Cincinnati.
They're
all going to cover that.
Bingo. Papa dude.
Yeah.
Magic, you want to make a case for the Dolphins plus 3.5?
Same thing. Go Dolphins. 4-1-1 against the spread in their last 6 against the Bills.
If you can hunt around and find a minus 13 and play a 10-point teaser, I think that is a very good way to attack these 3 games. Because I'd be shocked if any of these teams end up losing. All right, let's head over to the hardwood here to kick it off. The Suns heading into Minnesota, laying 5, total sitting at 223.5. Go to Magic first on this game. Who do you like here, Magic?
I love the Suns. The fact that they're an underdog in this spot, I think, is crazy. They've actually won their last 6 games against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Going to keep it going, keep the train going. The sun is shining bright in LA. The Suns are shining in Minnesota.
Kind of like the Suns as well, surprisingly. I'm agreeing with Magic here. Give me those 5 points. Little lean toward the under. We'll see what happens come closer. If there's any announcements on players out, if there are, then I'm probably heavier on the under. Papa dude, any thoughts on this one?
Well, I had the Suns picked first. I went back and looked at the injury report. Can't do it.
Great. It's not great.
It's not good. Minnesota's not very good either. That's the only thing. Suns need this one big time, but I just can't pick them with that many people out. So I'm going to go Suns plus 5. Minnesota wins.
Aaron?
Minnesota, big. You can't go from Phoenix to Minnesota and expect to win, especially when you don't have good players. You got players out. Minnesota, big tonight.
Suns own Rudy Gobert. They're going to continue that trend. I don't think he's nearly as good in this game as he has been in other spots. All right, let's head over to Los Angeles, Magic's neighborhood here. You got the Nuggets, one of the best teams in the West, coming into the Clippers, who've actually started playing a little bit better when they all actually play. Clippers laying 1.5 here, total sitting at 224.5. We'll go the reverse order. Aaron, who you got?
Tough game tonight. This is going to be a good one. I think you're going to see a lot of back and forth action. Give me the Clippers. It's raining in Los Angeles, but it's indoors. Give me the Clippers to win this game.
Not so fast, my friend. The Nuggets are a complete team. Give me the Nuggets. Give me the 1.5. Papa dude.
I can't remember who I picked. I went round and round. Who'd you pick, Aaron?
You picked the Nuggets. I'm sitting here looking at it.
Okay, I thought so. I thought I picked opposite you, but I went round and round on this. Yep. Nuggets are the better team. The Clippers let me down so many times. I'm going Nuggets.
Magic? Magic's on mute, so we'll just go to the next game. We've got the Winnipeg Jets plus 150 heading into Pittsburgh minus 175. Total sitting at 2 or 6.5 here, not 2.5. I'd play the over at 2.5. Total sitting at 6.5 here. Pretty good hockey game. Jets starting to get healthy again, which means that they're starting to play better again. Hopefully, start out with you, Papa Dude. Who you got here, Jets or Penguins?
This is a toughie for sure. I took the Penguins. Penguins at home. I'm going to go the Penguins to win tonight over the Jets.
Aaron, tell us why we should take the plus money.
I almost took the plus money, but I didn't do it. I ended up leaning with the Penguins here. I think the plus 150 is attractive on the Jets, but there's one thing about being attractive, Somich, and there's another thing about getting the job done, and that's why I'm going Penguins. I think they get it done. I think that plus 150 looks good on paper until they lose the game.
All right, I kind of like the over a little bit more than anything else, but I would lean toward the plus money here. I think the line's just a little bit off. Magic, who do you like here?
Stop muting me. Nuggets. I like the Nuggets. Oh, wait, sorry, wrong game. Penguins. I like the Penguins.
Nuggets.
All right, here we go. We got a Nuggets Penguin hockey parlay. All right, heading out to San Francisco for this one. We got the Oilers heading in to take on the Sharks. Oilers minus 160, Sharks plus 140. Total sitting at 6.5. Connor McDavid on like a 9-game point streak. Has a shot at getting 160 points for the first time since the 96-97 season. Only 2 players in NHL history have 160 points. Who are they, Magic?
Ovechkin, Crosby.
Gretzky and Lemieux, the only 2 ever in NHL history
Close.
to get 160 points in a
That
season.
was close.
You almost got one of them. All right.
Right team, wrong player.
Aaron, who you got?
Oh, you asked me? Sorry. I will take Edmonton in this game. It's another one. I get it. Plus money at home. Sharks, they're not horrible. I think Edmonton's got too much. They need the game. They really need the game. You know, they need to keep winning. That's a tight race for the wild card there. So I will go with Edmonton in this one. I think they get it done. That's another one. I'd go over this total. I think there's going to be goals tonight.
Edmonton, big, plus 150 minus the goal and a half. Magic?
Same. Edmonton, big.
Papa Dude.
Edmonton, not big.
Well, hopefully we have another result as the Golden Knights last night. We all were on the Golden Knights at minus 115. They got the job done 4-2 against the Panthers. So hopefully we can keep that hockey sweep status alive there. All right, race of the day. Probably picked the toughest race I could find. This is a mess of a race. Gulfstream Park, race number 5. So happy that this is the end of the early pick 5, the end of the early pick 4, and the start of the late pick 5. So if you get this one wrong, just pack your bags and go home. Really tough race here, Aaron. I ended up using 5 horses. I could probably make a case for 6 or 7. I love a price. Who'd you end up putting on top?
Yeah, this is a tough one without any doubt, and I do like a couple prices as well. I did put the number 5 horse strategy on top. I think this horse is going to be okay today. I think if you've been noticing, all of a sudden closers are now winning on this turf course. At least yesterday they were. I see a lot of speed in here. I think he sits just off the speed and gets it done. So I do like the number 5 war strategy on top. I like the 4 at 6-1 and the 11 at 6-1 as well. I think those 2 horses got a big chance. But as far as a winner, I will go number 5 war strategy.
I thought the 5 was interesting. It was the last horse in when I went 5 deep, though. I'm a little light on the numbers. Going to have to improve a little bit, I think, to get the job done here. I want to make a case for the 2-horse self-made here. Rosario picks up the mount, second out of the Martin Drexler barn, first time down at Gulfstream. Well, first time down in Gulfstream for Martin Drexler, actually 1-for-1 over the turf course. If you look at just the turf races, the numbers fit for this horse. 12-1 on the morning line, should get a decent trip, gets Rosario's board as well. So I have the 4 on top, but the 2 is a price that I really like. Magic, who do you like here in Gulfstream's 5th?
I got to go with the 5 horse strategy. I know I picked I was liking a Cassie horse yesterday, and it didn't work out very well. But Cassie and Saez are 24% with an almost $4 ROI together at Gulfstream. And I thought he had a good race last time out going a mile. At this level, was the favorite. Now we're getting a slightly better price, at least on the morning line, than the 9-5 odds that he went off at. So I think Saya is staying aboard after that race when the horse was clearly second best at Tiza Prince. I'm going to go with the 5.
All right, Papa Dude, close us out.
All right. I listened to the experts to see if my horses that I picked were mentioned by you guys. Okay. Got to go with the 11 Ghost Giant at 6-1. 2 firsts in similar allowance races out of his last 4. So I like that one. I like the 5 second, No one mentioned number 6. Not far down. I got him third. Not far down either. He's third.
Tough race. I do like the 11 as well, who should try and be the speed of the speed in this race, try and take him gate to wire. We ironically made a joke before this show started off air, how some random horse was going to win the first at Gulfstream. 10 horse, 22-1, wins the first at Gulfstream.
You had 5 in that one, didn't you?
Yeah, and they ran. I think we had 2 of them in the photo for second. Top pick ran second. Gotta love Gulfstream sometimes. It can be quite frustrating to play that track, but it's also why there's value at that track, because if you get these horses right, you end up with some shots at monster payouts. All right, let's head into the best bets here. We'll kick it off with Papa Dude, who is on a hot streak. 1 in a row. Who you got, Papa Dude?
Yeah, I'm really rolling here. All right. Looking forward to this tonight on ESPNU. This is how important this game is. Big game in the Ivy League tonight. If you like pure basketball, like I do, watch this league. They play the old-fashioned way. I call it white boy basketball. That's what it'll be tonight. All right, here we go. Big one. Cornell against Yale. Cornell's 12-4. Yale 11-5. Not much to pick from here. So the game's at home. That's angle number 1. Cornell has let school out today. The professors are going to be there in force. What is Cornell? The Indians? What are they? Oh, they wouldn't be the Indians. Big Red. The Big Red. Everybody's dressed in red. We're going to have a red hot tonight. Not a red out, a red hot.
Isn't it the Cornell Bears?
No, that's the Brown Bears.
All right. Anyway.
They're the Big Red. Trust me. I know what Yale is. They're the Bulldogs. All right. Here's my other angle. I looked at who's beat them. All right. Cornell has they've lost 4 games. Boston College, Miami, Syracuse, and they had a tough loss to Princeton in their last outing. That worries me a little bit. Yale has lost to Colorado. That's okay. Butler, that's okay. Kentucky, that's okay. But their last 2 losses, Columbia, they're 6-10. Dartmouth, they're 5-11. Dartmouth was a loss at home. Give me the Big Red and red hot night in Ithaca, New York. Cornell plus 100.
I would expect those Cornell students are going to be wild tonight for this.
They're ready.
Matchup. The place is going to be rocking. Yeah, it is the Big Red, but they do have a bear as the mascot. So I'm going to go with 50% credit for everybody.
Okay.
For the Big Red and the Bears.
Whoever saw a red bear?
Now, if you came on here and you weren't expecting 2 minutes of Ivy League coverage, just wait until you get a minute and a half here of quarter horse coverage, because Magic heading to Louisiana Downs.
Oh, my God.
Play a quarter horse.
Oh, this is the worst.
Jesus.
Hey, okay.
We had a request on
Carlstown
the
last
Magic
night.
Mike
I hope
show.
we should talk.
We had a request last night on the Magic Mike show for some quarter horse action. So here we go. We're going to go race 3, go number 4 freight train game, 3-1 morning line. It's going to be lower than that because the 5-2 favorite actually scratched. But this filly's been running against open company, almost won her last 2 against straight open company allowance horses, quarter horses. The last 2 of which, Evangeline Downs, they were a lot tougher than what she's going to be facing here. It's the right distance for her, back to 220 yards when she almost won, missed by a neck at Evangeline Downs against open company. So give me the 4 freight train game. Choo-choo!
Only threat here is the 6, Aaron. That was the only other horse I thought who had a shot. Who you got? Did you like the 4 here, Aaron?
Hold on.
Yes, it was Aaron's top pick on the website. I can tell you that.
You like the 4 freight train
Take
game.
their own horn.
I can't. That's it. That's all I got. I do like 4. Good pick, Magic.
Good pick, Magic. All right. I'm going to head to the NBA. And if you felt like you've seen this earlier this week, guess what? You have. I played the Kings as my best bet on Wednesday, -9, taking on the Rockets. They won by 20. They could have won by 30 had they not given up back-to-back threes at the end of the first half for a 15-point lead to be cut down to 3. Guess what? They're playing again tonight. They're playing in Sacramento. The line's only 9.5. I thought this should have been 12 or 13 on Wednesday. I think it should be 12 or 13 today. Give me the Kings -9.5. See if I can get the same team against the same team 2 times in 3 days is the best bet home.
That's amazing.
I like it.
I don't know why this is still 9.5. It should be 11 or 12. We'll go ahead and take the extra 1.5 and hope we can get a nice second cover. All right, Aaron, head us out to Santa Anita, who's actually running today before they don't run tomorrow.
Man, I've got so much to kind of follow here. It's tough. I'm in a tough spot right here after that Magic. He should have been the main event. All right, let's go here though to Santa
I didn't
Anita
know he was going to pull the
7.
whistle, or else I would have saved him.
Well, to be fair, we don't really know what Magic's going to do at any point today. All right, let's go Santa Anita. Race 7 on the card. I'm going to go number 6, Phenom. This horse, since returning from the layoff for Diamato, has been really, really good. The first race off the layoff was second, but in a really good second. Then broke the maiden going down the hill, which is what the horse is going to do today. Broke it by 6. And then last time out showed that versatility, cut back to 5 furlongs at Del Mar in an allowance race, smoked him again. Now we're back at Santa Anita. We're against allowance horses, and we're going right back down that hill. I really think Phenom is a single today in the late pick 5 at Santa Anita before we might not see Santa Anita for a couple of days. Like you said, certainly not Saturday. Maybe Sunday. I think that's 50-50. We'll see. So anyway, long story short, I love it. I love Phenom here in the 7th race at Santa Anita.
I know Magic has some thoughts about this, Aaron, too. Magic, you want to tell Aaron what you told me?
Actually, I was not going down the hill to break the maiden. That was a flat 6.5. So, that's wrong. No, that's actually was going to be my best bet. And then I saw the quarter horse and I was like, well, shit, I got to go to quarter horse. Man of the people right here.
Yeah. Stick with your expertise, Magic. I love it. Slight hunch play in your race, Aaron. Xmas surprise. I have a friend who tells me that Pfeiffer off is a good angle. We're getting Pfeiffer off and getting Pratt on. That's a pretty good step up there, getting 8-1 on Xmas surprise. So maybe sprinkle that one in the exact or something like that there. See if we can make it happen. What do you think of that one, Magic?
Oof, I can't disagree.
I agree with Shotty. Never use that voice again. You have great voices, Magic. That one was one I hated.
Yeah, the tape glasses voice was not good.
Stop making mistakes. I won't have to use it again.
All right, and that's going to wrap it up for this show, which has been an interesting one. It seems like it might be time. Let's go over the best bets here before we sign off. Papa Dude taking the Cornell Big Red plus 100. Aaron going to Santa Anita race number 7, which is down the hill. The horse number 6, 8-5 on the morning line. I'm going to take the Kings minus 9.5 for the second time in 2 days against the who are they playing? The Rockets. And Magic headed to the quarter horse land at Louisiana Downs, taking the number 4 horse in race number 3, 3-1 on the morning line. You're probably going to get like 7-5, 8-5. Probably will run second, but we'll see. We'll check back in tomorrow. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place. Best bets, sports, and horse racing world. See y'all later.